Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Warm welcome to Self Discovery Session 2.0 by Anil Kumar. He's an IT professional and one of the nicest persons I've seen. I've seen his learning grow from his Self Discovery 1.0 onwards to now. And it's a real pleasure to have him here today. You can see for yourself how his learning has been, how his growth has been, and it's been really nice. I've had the pleasure of interacting with him and his both his sons also, and it's been really a wonderful experience. All the best, Anil. I know that you will do really well. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Hope my voice levels are appropriate.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Apologies for the bad throat. In fact, I'm lucky to have regained it yesterday after a phase of 3-4 days. Last week it was really bad. So in fact, I am happy that I'm able to present SD 2.0 with a proper voice actually. So welcome to all of you, and thank you, Kritika. Thank you very much for your introduction. It was really wonderful, and you've been so considerate in your words. Appreciate it, truly appreciate it. So this is my self-discovery 2.0 powered by MiDNA, transforming lives globally with genetic brain profiling. So once again, welcome to all of you. The agenda would be very short and more focused on my client reports. We will just briefly look at myself, not duplicating what I did in SD 1.0, just to catch up a few things and what I learned in additionally about myself, in other than what I already explained in the SD 1.0. Then we look at some of the client reports, some of the key ones, then how I have interpreted and my learnings, and my journey so far in MiDNA, and the summing up and the summary and the conclusion. So it's going to be a very short and brief agenda. First, I would like to start the presentation with gratitude. In fact, whatever I'm doing today is because of a lot of people. I would thank all of them formally, but there are 4 people who I would definitely need to mention. So I want to start with that acknowledgement and gratitude. First is Sar, who had been the brainchild of this whole program and this product. And this, I wouldn't call it as a product, it's an offering, life transformational offering. And then my first mentor, and also the person who introduced me to GBP, Brinda, I would call it as mentor version 1. And then Kritika, mentor version 2, who have been doing a fabulous job in guiding me. And it was like in Sanskrit we say Asatoma Sadgumaya, like that, in that leading from darkness to light, that was she was doing throughout, in fact, she would recollect, when during October, during the time of October, what level of confusion I was in, lack of confidence, and how she helped me to move and graduate to a very good level where I could do 30 scans comfortably and also do the presentation for SD 2.0. So my special thanks to both of my mentors, and of course Suresh Babu, the man behind all the scenes, and who's there for any help, anytime, you ping him, he will respond like a flash and help you out. Amazing support from him. Just to add some interesting things to the presentation, I've added a quote at the bottom. I would try to make it relevant to the slide. I hope you all enjoy it. So gratitude is not an act, but it is an attitude towards people who have transformed our lives. So let me move on. We all take feedback from GBP. We all take some endorsements for GBP from various people. So I also thought, why can't I take some similar thing from people? Of course, I do have feedbacks from my clients and customers, but this is I want to do something different. So I went 2000 years back and look for endorsement for GBP, and I got this. I'm sure you will also love it. It is none other than the great poet of Tamil, Thiruvalluvar. Let us see what Thiruvalluvar has to say on GBP. So he says, Udattam Valiyarar Ukattin Uki Idakkan Murittar Palan. So the Tamil meaning is here. For those who don't follow Tamil, the meaning is very, very simple. So there are many who do things due to their ignorance of themselves. Then they have hastily start acting without knowing what they are and what their potential is and what their personality is, and they broke down in between. So to avoid this, GBP is the only answer. So a very brief account of what I am about me. I don't want to go in depth into this because I already covered this in SD 1.0. So I'll just make it very short and simple. So Anil is my short name, and it stands for analytical. The words mostly refer to my GPP profile and what I am actually analytical, new things every day, investigative, loves acquiring knowledge, and also solves problem. So the more you know about yourself, the better you can handle yourself, and this is the first step for self-realization. And for those who have missed my SD 1.0, or even for those who attended, just want to recap. I can see there are 19 participants in this forum. So let me see how many of you have joined my SD 1.0 or remember what I have presented. Even if you joined, if you remember your joined, please put a Y in the chat. This is just to ensure that you all have seen my SD 1.0 and also you're all active in the meeting today. Yeah, I just see one Y from Jayalakshmi. Thank you, Divya. So only two of you. If you have not been, you can type no also, so that I'll know that you're not been there, and I'll also know you are actively listening to me, right? Because unfortunately in Zoom we tend to talk to a screen, right? A white screen, and we assume people are listening to us. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness, there is a big list of no coming up. Okay, no problem. So that's good. I think that way the next couple of slides would give you a background about me before I get into my client report. So I'm a C3A1 R2R1, A1A1, C3A1, and A1A1. So I think experts should have made out what I am really by now. And in fact, that R2R2 has made the life of Kritik also really tough. In I would say mentoring or pushing or leading me to this level actually. So but she's done a great job, fabulous job, and here I am presenting my SD 2.0, and my energies are more focused on left prefrontal 81, which is the highest, which is also cognitive. So I always been an execution specialist but never been a thought leader. So if somebody gives me an idea, a spark, I just need a spark or an idea or some guidance, and I would execute it to the best possible. And I've been good in word power also, writing or speaking or explaining things or taking trainings. Quite good on that. Thanks to my C3 left temporal and my high energies there, 76, which is second highest among all this. So that's me briefly. Other things you can easily make out. I used to think about a lot of criticism people used to tell about me, at work or at the personal level. So the moment I know about myself, I got so much power, and that's what the quote says. Only when you don't know yourself, opinion of others becomes so important. You start giving too much importance to them and start feeling low in confidence. The moment you gain a lot of confidence and you gain a lot of power, so that you start moving, accepting and moving ahead in life. So that's one thing I got from GBP, and I've been I'm still learning, in fact, but it's a phenomenal learning for me. So I'm IQ, dominantly IQ and SQ, and coming to my intelligence, it's a word, then cosmic, then logic, then nature. and RIASEC is investigative, conventional, then followed by enterprising, realistic, artistic, and social. So that investigative is really high. So that's what landed me in this, MiDNA, with the MiDNA GBP. So I want to thank being investigative. So I landed it to something, I would say a gold mine, right? I have hit a gold mine. So I'm still exploring. So when you know yourself, you are empowered. When you know yourself, you become empowered. But when you accept yourself, you become invincible. And the last slide about me, ISTJ. I'm an ISTJ, introvert, sensing, thinking, and judging. And the MBTI says I'm a logistician, which I am. Too much into logic, and I'm a problem solver, high on diverging, and so much of thinking and bit of judging. So this is what I am. So I'd like to conclude this part of the story with a quote. Without self-knowledge, without understanding the working and functions of this machine, that is human being cannot be free. He cannot govern himself, and he will always remain a slave. So we'll GBP as in fact, I was in the whatever you see on the left was me 6 months back, and whatever you see on the right is me. I wouldn't say 100%. Maybe there are some small bits and pieces still remaining. I'm sure with SD 3.0 that also would get covered, and the ultimate result would be the right side picture. So life is like a puzzle. It all seems like a mess, but when it gets fixed, it looks awesome. That's what is GBP in a nutshell, as I understood, which unravels the puzzles of her life. Okay, and yeah, I'm sorry. This is one more slide I just had put to give a perspective out of family before I move into my client reports. So I call our family as this is myself, my wife, and two sons. They are 22 and 18 years old. As you can see, first one is myself, then followed my wife and two sons. And we are a family, A-class family. There are so many A's you can see. So very adaptive, emulative people, cognitive here and there to help us function in various places. And you can see a lot of similarities. The family, it's a very uh, uh, very cooperative, and people are very cooperative. There are not much of any frictions, not many of any challenges, and no small x or no capital X. So for us, life is very simple and straightforward. In fact, I would say very lucky to be having this type of a profile in your close family. Okay, moving on to the most important part of the day, the client reports. So I've chosen some of the interesting ones, the tough ones uh, for today's analysis. I've done 30, but out of 30, 12 had small or capital X, and I've chosen most of them with small and capital X, but one or two with without ones also, because I found them to be a bit interesting. So moving on to my the report, the first report. I wouldn't call this as a first report, but the first client, because the first scan I did after I joined the SD 2.0 is for my wife. So I would discount it and keep it aside, right? So this is the second, but for me as a client, this is the first client. You are just assume this scenario, right? You are playing international cricket, first day, first ball, first match, and a bowler like Umran Malik or Jasprit Bumrah is bowling at the speed of 160 km/h, and you are standing at the crease and shivering with your bat. That was exactly my situation, because the first report came like this. I'm sure even the seniors in this group would think twice looking at this type of UID. 4 3x, right? D2x, C3, C1x, C1, C1x, C1. So in fact, I was totally blown out seeing this. Then the first comment I made to Brinda was my mentor at the time. The first comment I made to Brinda was, Brinda, this is out of syllabus. I won't cover this. because I didn't study this in my theory papers. So this is out of syllabus for me. Can I leave this in choice? So all those school time memories were coming when I saw this report. But frankly, this report was really tough for me to even understand, digest, considering I was in the very initial stage of learning it. I think it was in August, if I remember correctly. Yeah, August, mid of August, something like that. But my mentor did a fantastic job in taking me through and giving me confidence, not to get worried about seeing so many X. And I think she took some views from SAR also. And then I learned to interpret, and we did a excellent counseling to the client, and he was also very happy. Uh, what I see from this report is uh, all the small x are all lying on the left, either the left prefrontal or the frontal or the parietal. So though this is more of an 80% cognitive and 20% affective. So without the X, this would have been a fantastic and an amazing profile. But yes, there is X. So there is small X in 3 places, in fact. Prefrontal, frontal, and parietal. So whatever multiple intelligence which are coming from the left side will have some challenges. So, like, it will be terms and conditions apply. It won't be, the individual will not be able to use them to its fullest potential. There will be some modulations, there will be some isolations. His thought process and analysis, will be unique, in fact, actually, and logic also would be quite unique. But what would happen is others may not be able to understand it or appreciate it, and uh, people may not be able to, even he agreed to that, people may not be able to grasp it or appreciate him. Even he was saying, even at work, he was, in fact, he connected on that first point itself. He was saying he had a lot of challenges at work because he was not yeah, though he had contributed a lot at his work, he was not given importance or uh, when he gave some unique ideas. But later, at a later point of time, people would appreciate him, or people would give him the credit for that. So that's what is the challenge with this type of a profile. He definitely has a lot of out of the box ideas, but again, coming to um, making it understandable or implementable or practical, there are some challenges, for others to accept it and move ahead. He's a great person, no doubt about it, and he works in the IT sector, information technology. He would struggle a lot to prove himself in his organization, and he moved from, say, the profile very apparently says that he would not stick to a job, and he won't be able to be confined to a framework. Yeah, that, and it proved to be right. He moved out of his regular job, 9 to 5 job, and he is an entrepreneur now. He started his own company, which of course underwent a lot of struggles, and is, though he has a lot of ideas, innovations, and out of the box thinking, struggling a lot with that. And coming from the family perspective also, uh, the UID indicates that he's not the same what he's at office as at work and at home, and it proved to be absolutely the same. So he is a completely a different person at work and different person at home. And the few more things, when we discussed about his childhood, how he was nurtured, and his early adulthood, all those things, they did have an impact and made him into a bit of a steady person, more matured person. There are certain things which he has adopted and which he has handled and doing things very well. Uh, so that's about this my first client. Then moving on, this person is my friend. I don't know him in depth, but I just he's my acquaintance. So I know him as a friend at a very high level, actually. So again, there was a C3X on the prefrontal. Uh, it looks like a more of an adaptive person. A1, so much of A1. In fact, I would say 90% A1, 95% A1, and 5% cognitive. So he seems to be a very wonderful, compassionate person. He wants to give a lot because we are all part of a social service organization. So he contributes a lot of his time, money, and efforts to there for social benefits. But what I made out from the report is, maybe he's doing a lot of things due to compulsiveness, maybe. Then coming to the C3X especially sitting on the right prefrontal, right? So I felt that the execution with family, uh, there would be some challenges, and I try to understand. I try to discuss with him because being a 52-year-old adult, it's important. I talk to him, get his situation, and then go through the report. So that's very important. So that's what I did, and what I initially mentioned came proved to be right, and he completely agreed to me. And in fact, he was stunned at the moment I mentioned that execution at family is a problem. And I used one word. You see, maybe you are like a split personality, right? Your wife may be wondering why you are like this with me while you are doing. He's actually a training and development consultant. While you train people across the world, in a beautiful way, but why are you like this at home? So he said, yeah, he said, I had this question in my mind for a long time, and I'm surprised this is what my design is, and this has answered me. So he was so happy with that, actually. Uh, so prefrontal, is actually very crucial for execution, and there is small x on the right. So this leads to like compulsions, comparisons, complaining nature, and he's heavily influenced by the environment and is sort of a complaining nature type of a person. And he accepted that he jumps into inconclusive decisions, uh, and later he would think and regret that why he had done that. And he keeps to argue with, especially with family, that if he had done any fault, it's not my fault. He'll try to instantly cover up all those things there, actually. And again, he was saying that he was acting differently at work as well as at family, maybe driven by the small x C3 and the small x, actually. And there is one analogy which a mentor told me, and I communicated to him. In fact, I want to mention, I have to give all due credits to Kritika for making me understand. See, very short, but it was very powerful, so that even now I remember that, actually. Like, he's a person who enters the house with muddy slippers, walks around the house, and blames everyone for that the house is muddy, though without knowing that he is the person who came with the muddy slippers. So when I gave him the analogy, then he was laughing and he was saying he was able to relate that, and he was so happy, in fact, actually. So then I gave him a lot of, I would say, areas for improvement, or where he has to focus, where all his strengths, how he to use his strength, and see where he may fall short of things, and how to have harmony at family, how to ensure that they are also happy. Because see, by nature, he is a cheerful and harmonious and team leader. He gets work done from others very nicely, either official or social. Happy going, friendly personality. But why he should be like that at home, right? So he also realized that, and he was happy about that, and he said that he won't be stubborn in doing things. So that was, I would say, that was one of the more very interesting and excellent counseling I had. It was so fulfilling. I was able to uh, interpret somebody so accurately, even though they are an adult. And second most important, they were so happy. They were so appreciative about the way the GBP is designed, and the way I've explained it, the way the mentor explained it. They're so happy. So moving on to this person. So this is a cognitive X1 A1, A1 A1, C1 A1, and A2 A1. Again, in X1 in left frontal. Yeah, in fact, I would, if you allow me to use a word, a type of a, beyond our imagination, a type of a reverse processing type of a person. And looking at the C3 prefrontal combined with X1 A1 in the frontal, he's a very impulsive decision maker. Proper planning is not at all happening. And when I spoke to him, he said yes, that was dominating in his adulthood when he was in young age. I would say young age in the sense I mean between 18 to 30. In that age, he said that was too dominant. Now he has slightly realized that and slowed down, but still he has that. He still has to overcome that, and he agreed upon that. Taking impulsive decisions without looking at the impact, not being able to be understandable to others, all those things were very high on them, and even others were not able to. He said that even others are not able to appreciate or come in line with what I'm doing or what I'm thinking. And when something goes wrong or somebody gives negative feedback, he just shuts down. Yeah. And when I told him, he agreed on that also. And stubbornness is very high. And there are other things, because when I met him, he was high on the BMI and weight, because then I found his body smart intelligence very low, and he being A1 on the parietal. I told him, I'm sure you are not regular in your fitness. I don't think you walk or jog or do any yoga or anything. He said yes. And then I said, it's very important you take care of your fitness, because we're getting into the 40s very shortly. And with aging, health is very important. So you should get into any regular fitness, a gym or a yoga or any regular program with a personal trainer, because he's his profile says he's too lazy and he won't do things on his own. So that is one thing. And there is one thing about him is this I would like to highlight actually. His prefrontal is C3, and the energies are extremely high, 90 and 83. It's, I think, one of the best I've seen in all the reports I've so far done. Yes, he's of course an execution specialist. Any work give it to him, he does it with precision and completes it to the satisfaction of everyone. So he's an execution specialist, no doubt about that. But unfortunately, his thoughts are not supporting it. So that's where he's having a huge struggle in life, which he has been made aware of. And I'm sure he would work it out and get into the next level of his life, the wow living transformational life. So moving on to the next report. So I'll jump into a a small kid, 5 years old kid. So this is a very adaptive profile. I would say 100%, not 100%, sorry, 95% adaptive. A1 C1, A1 C3, A1 R2, A1 A1, A1 A1. So 90% adaptive and emulative, and 10% cognitive. We see through two places cognitive. So this child is a very, as I interpret, is a very energetic child. Would be constantly talking, and will connect with people very well, extremely well, and a playful child, of course. Uh, she's reflective in the right parietal. So especially for a child, that needs a lot of attention, because R2 would definitely need being reflective, would need a lot of mentoring or support actually. So this was made aware to their parents, that put the child into some games or something of action where the child enjoys and plays and uses her body a lot, and stays energetic actually. C3 and C1 on the right, especially on the frontal C3 and right frontal C3 and the prefrontal right prefrontal C1, shows that it's a child of great potential. And the best part is uh, the C1 C3 has the highest energy, 73 and 79. So from a thinking perspective and as from the execution perspective, especially with people being the right brain, she would be extremely doing very well, and she'll be a people person. People will admire her, and she will more focus more on problems than solution. So that is one thing, which was advised to the parents to nurture her, so that she doesn't focus too much on any problem and looks at how she would find a solution for anything. And she needs some guidelines and putting a framework for studying, right? Like a timetable or some structure. So the parents have to be with her, help her put a structure, and be enforced to develop a habit like reading habit. So the parents have to sit with her, make her read. They'll also should read along with her. They should not be fiddling with the gadgets or the TV and asking her to read. This is what made the parents to understand. They also appreciated it actually. And in fact, we went through the report in detail, and his father had a lot of questions, and I kept on answering. So this was really really a great experience, helping a child to be nurtured in the best possible way, and parents getting the right inputs. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Yeah, this is father and son. Uh, Very straightforward one. Even all A1s, only one C1 for the son who is 16 years old, and the father, except for the parietal, it's the all others are A1, and there is one D1 in the uh, right prefrontal. So here there is nothing to focus for the son. We have just covered all the points, and for the father especially, I was able to find out that he's not very active when it comes to walking or exercising, all those things, and he's 52 years of old. So it naturally means that he would have developed some lifestyle diseases, which he agreed yes, and he was very happy to hear that even GBP can go to this extent of giving suggestions and advices. So he's very happy, and he said he will quickly adapt to some regime which will help him to be active in a day-to-day life and also get rid of the lifestyle diseases. So yeah, this was the highlight profile of all my 30. I'm sure you all will also find it very interesting. 4x, 4 small x, 100% cognitive. Excuse me. 100% cognitive, very high rich count, 422, and just see the energy levels, all above 75 and above. Extraordinary, energies, low base energy, and but a mix of small x in right, left, and right left. So again, though I was gaining confidence, looking at this report, my confidence again plunged down because it was really going crazy for me. Then again, I should thank Kritika for really guiding me through this, explaining me on this, and also making me understand my own. See, more than she explaining, she made it me to realize on this. Then how to speak to customer, how to talk to them. See, the adult being 62 years old, I clearly understood. I can't just read the report one line and then interpret something and conclude. The report has to be seen as a whole. I knew this, but with this report, that understanding got strengthened. This report is not a line by line report. This is a consolidated report, and it should be looked at as a holistic report. Like we have to see a human being as a holistic human being, not his eye, not his ears, like that. This report is a complete report. So I should look at this completely, look at all parameters, and then talk to them. And in addition to that, especially if there is an adult, I need to talk to them and understand how they have been nurtured, how it has been their marriage, how with the spouse, their office, the work, all those things. So we understood with that, and uh, we can say it would her childhood have been so much of struggle, but unfortunately Sorry. But unfortunately, she said that it was initially, but there wasn't much because she was the second child, and her parents were so supportive, and whatever treatment her brother was getting, she got used to that, and she became so disciplined, and she didn't have that struggle during her childhood. And also after marriage, she had a very supportive spouse, and she got into business. But I was able to find out that the ex played a lot during her business, and there was so much of struggle during her business times also. And ultimately, she closed down the business now. She due to various reasons. But it was really very interesting to know her, and such a complex profile, and also understanding how nurturing and also the life during her adulthood plays an impact on one's life. So let's me move on. And yeah, this is going to be my last slide on my client list. So this is a very interesting one. I want to put this because just a minute. Sorry. Just because I saw some similarity in the profiles, you can see this is the first one is the father, the younger son, then the mother, the elder son. So I found a lot of similarities between the father and the younger son, and the mother and the elder son. So the father and the younger son both have X in their right frontal, and we were able to easily interpret, and the client also agreed that he's undergoing a lot of struggle, especially when it comes to thinking. He's gets a lot of thoughts, gets a lot of ideas, but none of them get materialized. He keeps on changing his ideas, changing his plan, changing his views. So much of fluctuation, so much happening. And also he's quite different when what he's at work, what is at home. That's what the report says, and he too agreed with that. And based on that, I gave some advice regarding how to nurture the younger son, especially being a C1X. What are the actions to be taken? What are the homework for the parents? All those things were communicated to him. Yeah. So that's about this all about my the client reports which I have done so far. Some, so not all, a few of them which I have found to be very interesting. So yeah, now I would like to share some feedback from my some of the customers. I'll just play once and stop. Just confirm if the audio is you're able to hear the audio. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hope it's audible. Yeah, can someone unmute or on the chat tell me it's audible? Yes, audible. Yeah, thank you, Tejveer. Yeah, I'll continue. Yeah, perfect.
Got my genetic brain profiling done by MiDNA. Quite an interesting revelation. I mean, I think I should say that I got it done a little late in life. But then, of course, it did help me. I mean, I wouldn't say it helped me because I couldn't understand anything from the report. Thanks to Anil, who spent about an hour with me on the report and started explaining things to me. He told a lot of good things and also things to be corrected. The way I think or the way I look at things, and how I can take help of my family and probably helping me. I mean, in making them understand my the reasons for my behavior. So it was quite helpful, very interesting, and I really I'm interested. But as I said in the beginning, I think I should have got this done when I was 14 or 15, or maybe then I could, or even a little early. Probably I'll go get it done for my son, so that I mean, there could be early understandings of what would be the ideal career, or what should be the ideal academic path that he takes. What is he good at, and what are the kind of hobbies that he can develop, or what is it that he has to be away from, or how he can improve his public contact or his relationships with people around. So it becomes very important for him to understand how his brain functions and how he can make the best of it. So thank you so much, Anil, for your time, and I can say I've done a phenomenal job. How I wish this was there about 35 years ago, and you were there to explain how I should probably use my energies. Thank you so much, and thanks, MiDNA.
Yeah, I'll move on to the next slide. One more feedback.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ravikant. Recently, we had the genetic brain profiling for my 5 years old child. So we approached Anil before going through this, Anil Kumar, the coach. He explained the process and the advantages of going through this genetic brain profiling for the children at a very young age, so that you can get to know about them very well based on their fingerprints, which is also called the dermatographic, in which we can come to know about the child. We can come to know about the child at a very in a very detailed manner. So he took us through the sample report and explained us in very detail. After which I requested Anil to take the fingerprints of my child and get the process done. So once the report is published, so Anil took us through each page in very detailed manner. He explained each step, each parameter very patiently. Both Anil and Kritika, both of them addressed our concerns, our questions, and everything very politely and patiently. I would definitely recommend this genetic brain profiling for the children at a very young age, so that we would come to know their strengths and weaknesses, so that we can nurture them in a very right direction, is what I feel. Finally, I'm really thankful to both Anil Kumar, the GBP coach, and Kritika for providing us the very in-depth analysis of my child. And also we made a note of all those points so that we can so whenever required we can go back and refer to those 6 pages report and understand my child better. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, and audio feedback. This was from the person who had 4X. In fact, I was a bit more worried about how the counseling will go and how the feedback will come, but it went on extremely well.
Anil, thank you so much for the explanation you gave about the report. I was quite happy and quite thrilled about the what all you said, and it was a very good uh, knowledge I gained on this new subject. Actually, you did a good job, Anil. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and last but not least, text feedback. Anil is amazing personality, has depth, in-depth subject, lot of patience in explaining everything. Yes, one of the best counseling personality I've met. Myself and Santejas had a great session. We will we still keep asking questions, and he's always available for us for any of our queries or challenges we face. So these are some of the feedbacks I received. So that's it. And
Anil, thank you.
so let me quickly wrap up my session. I know it's already 3:47, so I'll take another 2 to 3 minutes so that we have some time for the feedback and so that we can close at 4. I'll try to quickly wrap up. So this is my journey so far with MiDNA. 5th July I joined, I received the scanner on 7th August, did the first scan on 7th August. 3rd September was SD 1.0 and today it's SD 2.0. This is my brief journey with MiDNA starting from 5th July. And yeah, these are some of the creatives I've made. to do some promotion, to make people know that there is such a wonderful opportunity available. And this is one banner I did. And this is one stall I tried to put in one of the Rotary event in T Nagar, a full day stall, and we had quite a few visitors coming and checking about GBP. This is a small video I did. I think you all have seen this. I don't want to play this now in the interest of time. Yeah, this is one thing I would like to spend some time, maybe a minute. See, these are a few of the words I keep. These were the things which were pulling me down, in fact, actually. And I would consider these people as the unlucky customers, because whoever have agreed to get the GPP done are lucky, because you saw the feedback, right? So how they were happy. So these people said no, and I consider them as unlucky because they missed the bus, right? One person said it's too expensive, asking for discount. Asking what, 3,000 rupees is not even your dinner cost, and you're asking discount on that. That is a parent of an 8-year-old. Then a 22-year-old boy said, I do not know it is at this stage. I want to just enjoy life and chill. And a 4-year-old says it's too early for my child. I'll do it once my child comes to 10th. Then a 40-year-old adult was saying, I don't need all this. I am very happy already and I know myself very well. Then parent of 10-year, I want to grow my child naturally with surprises. I'm not interested in all these reports and all. And lot of people escape. They start running from me after hearing my GBP intro. So these were all my experiences, and unfortunate they all miss the bus. I'm sure they one day they realize and come back. And these were the challenges, my personal challenges, which I went through, this journey. In fact, see, all this are all learnings, right? Though I call them as challenges, now I'm gaining on how to overcome all this, right? With the help of GBP, with the help of the experiences, like convincing customers, closing the deal, asking payment is the biggest problem I had, actually. Getting feedback, my God, how many times I have to chase them. I have to evolve a mechanism where I get the feedback immediately after session. So I'm working on all this, I'm improving all this. Taking long time to understand this concept, having so much self-doubt, confidence, too many, see, unfortunate or fortunate, I don't know. So much, the first report itself comes slapped with me with 3x, the next x one comes with the capital X, then 4x, then 3x, then 2x, going crazy. So then trust factor with familiar people. Familiar people are asking me, you are going to do counseling for me? Do you know? Do you know the subject? Are you sure? So because people who know me for the 20, 30 years, they are not believing that, this guy has learned something, is doing. That's where, I used to pull my mentor and take her help, and she supported me in a fabulous way. So, one thing I learned is I was stuck in the comfort zone. This wonderful image shared by Sir. So if I want to get through all this, I have to move out of this center of the rope. That's where, my success lies, which I understood very clearly. Summing up, I don't want to cover this because this is something I understood from GBP, and I was able to practice, maintaining balance between right and left. That is very important. So this can be achieved through yoga. That is one word I want to leave, and you can explore later, because everyone, this is something very scientific. Everyone has Ida and Pingala and nadis, which is representing sun and moon, or the right and left, and our breath oscillates between both nadis every 7 minutes. 7 minutes we are masculine, 7 minutes we are feminine. The ultimate aim of yoga is bringing the nadi to Sushmana, the central spinal cord, so that you are a balance between masculine and feminine. Both qualities should be equal in you. So that's when success comes to you as naturally. You should be good in office and work, or you should be good with people and our family. That's where, we find our ikigai, actually. So this simple practice, there is a practice of Nadi Shuddhi in yoga. It's just a breathing practice, non-religious type of a practice. Anybody can do that. With the Nadi Shuddhi, over a period of time, we can achieve that balance internally between the two nadis, masculine and feminine, which should balance us, our qualities also. In fact, I was very happy to find that, I overcome a lot of. I am a extremely life brainer, 58%, if I remember. But by and large, with this practicing for 14 years, I've been able to manage. You see, you can see, right? I've become so creative. You see, I've seen my posters, designs, and visuals, and my PowerPoint also looks quite decent, right? So I've been able to become more of a right brainer and less of a left brainer. I would say my practices and all those things have helped me. And one great learning. I would like to sum up my whole presentation with this wonderful, powerful Sanskrit quote. I will just read the English meaning. We can only accomplish tasks by making continuous and strenuous efforts, by not merely wishing to do. Because a deer doesn't come and fall into a lion sleeping moun's mouth. The lion has to run, walk, and hunt, kill, and then only eat the deer to sustain. So that applies to everything, including GPP. This is one thing I understood. Clients won't come and fall. They won't knock my door and say, Anil, take my fingers and give me a report. I have to put my efforts. So I have to go out of the comfort zone. That is one thing I learned from this. That is one great learning. But otherwise, this is one small learning, I would say. But otherwise, other learnings which I already discussed have been really fabulous. So I would like to conclude by thanking Sar, my first mentor Brinda, my second mentor Kritika, Suresh Babu, and all the 25 of you. I would say 25, it's 23 minus myself and Sar. Thank you so much for sparing your Saturday and attending this presentation. Your feedback will be very valuable and help me to take my next steps. The MiDNA family who have been very supportive. In fact, I like the word when Sar uses family. It's really a family, we're not colleagues or we are not friends, we are family, right? And the MiDNA HO team, which I've been supporting with the reports, the backend team, we've been very quick in giving the reports, and all my clients and supporters who have helped me to reach this level and all the learnings. So let us wake up joyfully, live awake, awarefully, think globally, act locally, serve usefully, sleep peacefully, age gracefully, and live a life of choices and not of compulsions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Anil. And yeah, the floor is open for feedback. Please unmute and speak. If you can raise your hand, that would be very nice so that everybody knows who will speak first. Yeah, yes, Tejas.
Namaskar, Anilji.
Namaskar.
Excellent presentation, and I really liked the table which you presented for your family. It was one of the most unique things I have ever seen on any SD. Things put up nicely, and I really welcome this effort, the strenuous effort, I would say, which you're putting in to know yourself and work on yourself. And a special thanks to Kritika ji for wonderful inputs which she has given you. I'm really impressed. All the best. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ji. Yeah, Priya ji.
Thank you, Tejveer ji. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yes,
good
Priya,
evening,
please.
everyone. Yeah. So, though I had missed out your self-discovery 1.0, but the second one, today's self-discovery was indeed very impressive. Everything was very clearly explained. Your report, your family's report, as well as those of your clients. And I've been following up. You've been quite visible in the MiDNA groups also lately, quite actively participating in all the activities. So I'll just say congratulations, very well presented. Hope to see more of you in MiDNA.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Bhubalan.
Okay, Anil. Okay, happy evening, Anil. It was really a fantastic session. You beautifully narrated. First stage your throat is not good. So it was the beautiful flow you have. I must appreciate Brinda and Kritika here because I think they put a lot of effort to just train you and share the knowledge with you. It is equally important that you will also bring a lot of clients. It is not only they put effort, because only the participation has to happen in both the side. And the eagerness, willingness to learn and bring more clients, practical the way you approach and people, genuine you approach, just explore yourself. You are very ocean, so let's grow together. And thank you so much for the session.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes, mentor Kritika ji.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon again, everybody. Anil, that was a very nice presentation. I love the way that you presented with a saying for everything. And as it was in your SD1 was very different and it impressed a lot of us. You've managed to impress a lot of us again with your SD2 as well. So you are the what do I say, my first normal mentee you are, because my usual mentees all have had X's on capital X in them. So you're my first normal person mentee. So, but today you've shown that how fantastic you have changed, your learning has been. And my best wishes are always with you to grow, to glow, and to continue on our family journey together.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, Kritika. Yeah, anyone else? Yeah, Bhuwanaji, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Anil. A very nice presentation. And I like the way I like your sense of humor. The analogy you took about the X scans that you had and how you were thinking of your examination days. Well, that was a little nice way of putting it. And so that shows that you do have a nice sense of humor and looking at life from a different perspective. And when you were mentioning that your family scan, nothing much, everything is going on smoothly and you're managing, I mean, life is good. I would give you 60% of the credit for that because of your attitude and who you are and your brain design. And of course, it was a very well organized presentation. So it was interesting and you kept up your pace and sort of took us through a lot. And I would say you put in a lot of effort to get 30 scans in this short time. And that too, fortunately or unfortunately for you, you got inducted into GBP in the right way with so many X's. So probably that is what got you so interested, deeply involved in it. And you have put in a lot of effort to, I mean, had your stall, putting up social media, something which took us a few years to get used to. Of course, being in the IT sector, probably all this comes as a second nature to you, so no problem. So that's why I think you're very successful, besides having good mentors to guide you. All kudos to Kritika and Bartika. You've done a very good job of helping people with so many X's. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy your journey with MiDNA for many more years to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bona. Yeah, anyone else? Okay, so we assume that a lot of messages are there. And I think Tejuji is asking how the response was in this talk. Yeah, you can reply to that, Anil, before how was the response in that Rotary stall?
Response was, it was more of awareness creation. I just got only one scan from that, output of that stall. Around 20 people had showed, 40 to 50 people came in, and 20 people showed interest and got the numbers. I have to just, call them back and follow up. It's so hectic, so I have to now take an opportunity to call and ask them. But one thing I found is it created a lot of great awareness, and they were appreciating of the concept. I'm sure one day or another they would come back. So it was more of a brand creation awareness, and I would say I didn't get the result I expected. That later Sir also told me the background of it, how it's done based on the experience. So it's a mixed, I would say, mixed experience.
Right. Yeah. So that's what usually happens with GBP is not a service or a product that you can put it in any display or in any entertainment or any place where people come for just fun. And we know all the Rotary conferences also are, most of the time people come there just to flop, and there is no much seriousness in pursuing all that. We know the eatery places will be so much crowded, and other things and all just for peeping in. And when you are a little bit serious about discovering yourself, then people would obviously will think this is not the time. So these are all very natural. That is why I generally avoid anybody spending money on any events by putting stalls and all, because ours is a concept. You cannot, you will not find time. The best
Absolutely.
you can do is just get the registrations done, some inquiries, prospects, and then you call for a Zoom meeting, and then you will come to know whoever is coming, you can explain. It is not really worth. At the maximum, you can give a brochure and say you read it, and then you come to the, we will call you. So those whoever give their name and phone number, you can give a brochure, let them go. Even if they don't read, when you call them, we can find out you join for a free seminar, and then thereby, so it's a process. You can't just like that, like a eatery. You can't just put it on display and people will take it. It will not happen. I think most of the MiDNA family members come inside, and this is one thing commonly everybody is making either a confused effort or probably wrong investment also. That is why I told very clearly, if somebody is giving a free stall, you put it. Okay,
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
even
yeah.
worth saying that if you want a free scan, you register, and then you convert them into some paying for counseling. The report can be given free, but you will
Yeah.
not understand the report. You better take the counseling, and you charge little less for that. Thereby, even if
Yeah.
you get 1,500, it is worth just reaching more people, because we don't know. Sometimes one satisfied client will get you multiple further scans also. So we shouldn't be, one thumb rule in MiDNA is no Insta benefits, no Insta responses. It will all be taking a lot of time. If it comes instantaneously, it will disappear also instantaneously. So be happy that people are not coming that easily. That means they will not go to any of the competitors like us also, they will not go. Okay, so it is going to be a very long-term effort. We may have to continuously do it. And you can see Anil Kumar Senior is a great example of how Ragarte Jana, you have to keep on digging, then probably you find the gold mine. But even that gold mine will be in bits and pieces. It will not be available as one day you found everything and now your life is relaxed. And it is not very interesting to look forward for such kind of opportunities as well. So coming to the session, lot has been appreciated about it. Yeah, and I am just wondering, your R1 and C3 in the initial days of your life, you have been so much curious in figuring out, not becoming so much restlessness in knowing what is in life. But I think your C3 on the left temporal has slowly pulled your frontal lobe, made it little more energetic, and probably with repetitions of the same events happening, at this point of time, your R1 would be an A1 in terms of its performance and function because of the pathways that would have been created. So you are a very uncontrollable person to begin with. Now you are getting tamed reasonably well, and because of your right and left combination of your family with your spouse, I think there's a family balance is definitely there. That is the reason why you said that we are not having much difficulties, because you don't go home and she doesn't come to your office. So where the problem will come? You are a left brainer and she's D2 on the right side. I don't think any conflict will come because she doesn't intrude into your business, and you don't go to the kitchen and say, why are you cooking like this? You don't do that also. So somewhere I think complementing personalities, and that's very, that has made your life much easier to handle. But I will tell you, and I repeatedly tell, if there is no small x and capital X, life is very boring also. Okay, it is like your parents have earned all the money and you have no work to do, and we know that no work and no play, and it is a dull day for the John and as well as everyone else. So it is not that we are getting based on our request. Yes, it is based definitely on our previous life and the karma that the parents have done. We are also carrying the outcome of the things that our parents and grandparents have done. Both boon and a bane both come from them. So, but we have to say, okay, so what? We have got some question paper. Let us write whatever is we know. If we don't know it, we'll say, okay, pass. I'm not giving a wrong answer. I say, no, I'm not answering to it. So maybe the exam is not completed, the exams is not over, but still you have done your job. You can continue to look forward for another birth if it is there. At least let us prepare something better in this opportunity that we have got, so that we can hope something else will happen better in the days to come. But I believe with the kind of designs that you said, that out of 30 scans, 12 or 14 scans are having some small X and capital X. This is the message for the day, in my opinion, for all the family members. It is going to be like this only. So people will come only when they have challenges. You tell me, will we go to a mechanic when the vehicle is running all right? We will never go. Okay. The mechanic who is sitting there, the puncture specialist who is sitting in the main road will be thinking, go, maybe someday you will have a puncture and then you will come and knock my door. That time you will know how important I am. Okay, like that. So we can just bless them and wish them all the very best. If they don't come to us, as long as they are happy, we should be also happy. No problems about it. There are enough problems. I believe that creating awareness is the only investment we have to do. There is nothing else you need to do. Do it consistently. Don't expect any immediate results and relationships. It is a big, long marathon. Okay, that's something everybody has to remember, and that's a great example that many in the MiDNA have done very consistently. Keep on doing, even if nothing comes in. Don't worry about it, because you are keeping yourself engaged in something that is good for the society. So I think rather than watching some unwanted things and spending time in some fun and entertainment, you are keeping your brain very alive and active and wanting to be useful, and that's something happening. So don't worry about people not coming. I have taken a screenshot of your reasons and the learnings that you have come had from your clients. Very much relatable. I have seen them 100% agreeable to it, and it will be like that one. Okay, it will be like that one. See, if things are happening easily, then there will be hundreds of genetic brain profiling counselors will be there in the street. Okay, then you will say, "Sir, too much competition. Nobody is coming, and now you are saying, I'm not able to do." So there is no in between will not come. So it is good that whatever comes with a lot of efforts gives us a lot of satisfaction. That is why we have kept 3,000 rupees for genetic brain profiling. Whoever says it is costly, you tell them, you come, I'll give a report at 1,000 rupees. You don't pay anything. I will not give you counseling. Still, you will get the report. So this is something. It is very natural that people go with their brain design. Okay, so obviously they are all compliance very high, so they must be thinking 3,000. That's very. So these are the people who see the last cost part of it in the menu when they go to restaurant. So it is very natural. Okay, so but I would say anybody you interact, the response you get, now you will be awareful about their design from the statements they are making. Okay, and people who are saying we already know about ourselves well probably are very cost conscious. They don't want to tell that. They just say I know about myself very well. But it is not that we can educate everyone. But what I appreciate in you is the curiosity, the eagerness to learn. And I still remember your statement, sir. Please give me a mentor who will think ahead of me rather than I go there. I want to make use of their knowledge and the resources very much. So give me somebody whom I will be finding that much of opportunity to ask and keep them engaged with all that. And then I think Kritika is the first one who came to me, because both of you are cognitive on the prefrontal and fast in the processes. So that's a good thing that I thought I'll give. And I think with her capital X, you are really given a very good inputs, and it gets displayed in the session, the feedback, everything. I have my special appreciation is towards your super fast way of 10 scans like that. You have done 9 scans and all. So 30 scans in such a short time is very difficult, and that is why I keep appreciating people who do it before their time of self-discovery schedule and the duration, whatever we are giving. So all the very best. But one very important thing all the audience must take home is he's already an IT professional, works for a company, and he's doing this as part-time, but he does it like full-time. So that's a great, my appreciation is for that, that you are balancing with your strong left brain and with your cognitive prefrontal, can do even a few more activities, and you are a social, you are connected with the voluntary organization, Rotary and MiDNA and your company. I think your hands are full, and I think you will definitely make a good impact on the knowledge that you have gained, and it will be applied. Now you should, get into the corporate adults and kind of thing. Maybe your right frontal is R1. Maybe the one-to-one counseling, probably you will get little bored later. You should get into some corporate, because your right left temporal is very good, and your left brain also. Corporate environments will be quite comfortable for you. You can think about it and go ahead and do it. And before I conclude, my best wishes. You have done a good job, and your quotes on every slide is a very, very thoughtful way of putting it across. And I think when your left frontal is very strong and your left temporal is good, I think presentations should always come with a lot of powerful data and information analysis and all that. And I think you have lived up to your AINIL abbreviation as well. I think I loved that as well. And all the very best, and happy to see all that conversations and communications, and your enthusiasm in participating in the meetings and all, both in Chennai and in also you are coming for the nest. So I see your curiosity to learn more and more is very much appreciable. I think after this next annual training, you will be a little more armed with a little more knowledge and information. I think next 1 year it will sustain your uh, thirst and hunger to do something to the society. Make use of the Rotary, build a relationship, go and talk, give sessions. We can go to schools and talk about the utility and the need of it. I think you have a good audience, and with your ability and your interest to be useful. And before I conclude, you said you are becoming all creative, all that those things. It is all coming from your diverging. So you are a left brain and a diverging. So diverging means creativity comes. Only thing is it is left brain diverging and not the right brain diverging. That's the difference. But I think you know what the problem is, and you also have the solution. So I can say, with your left brain holistic approach that can come from it, your performances of your task and the activities will always stand much better than anyone else can do. So all the very best. Take care. Bye bye. See you tomorrow for a self discovery 3.0 by Vanitha Vimal Kumar. And with that, we are coming to the closure of self discovery sessions before our annual training, where all those who have completed self discovery 3.0 would get their neuropsychologist certificates. And I think it's a great recognition. After 100 scans, counseling is done. We are giving that. So I would like to see in the next annual training, that is 2024, you should be receiving your neuropsychologist certificate. All the very best. Take
Sure.
care.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.